keep finding myself in these dark rooms and I don't know.
This video is not about how to shoot a video. We're not going to talk what camera to use or how to light a scene or any of the technicalities behind making videos. The biggest mistake we make when creating content is we focus too much on which equipment will get the job done and we pay no attention to the personal development and skills required to be successful as a content creator. I mean, you can have all the latest camera equipment, but if you don't have a character behind it, it doesn't serve you any good.
Again and again, yeah, again and again. Another ball, another night, another friend of a friend.
I'm Wale, I'm a filmmaker, content creator, and real estate agent. Over the past 15 years, I've worked with top brands, filming everything you can think of, and I'm here today to let you know that you need to ditch the equipment and focus on personal development. In today's era, everything is content, and while having the best equipment can make your video more attractive, it is not necessary until you're consistent and you've built a brand and built a business around content creation and you're generating income. By the way, hit the like and subscribe button for more videos like this. Listen, your first time is going to suck, right? Your first time is going to be the hardest, and that's like anything in life. You will easily find out that it's not as easy as you think, and creating content might feel like a job, it might feel like a second job, but keep in mind that it gets easier the more you do it, and it will soon become second nature, just like anything in life. All right, now let's talk about the 7 tips to creating content like a pro. So the very first tip is to use what you have and the resources around you to create the kind of content you need. So, creating content is not about having the most expensive equipment or having all the lights in the world and, this one and that one. What's more important is the delivery. What's more important is the character. What is more important is what you're talking about, right? People would rather watch a video with bad quality, but it has a really good information, right? There's a value in the content versus a video that has that was shot with like the best camera and has all the best lighting and everything, but provides no value, right? So at the end of the day, what matters most is what you're saying. What matters most is how creative you get, right? That is what people want to see. And jokingly, I say this all the time, right? The best equipment for you is what's in your pocket, and that is your cell phone, right? So at the end of the day, right, you have to think of this as a business as well, right? Why are you buying a lot of equipment? Why are you buying this one and that one when it's never guaranteed to generate income for you? And at the same time, the equipment is not what's going to force you to actually create content. You sitting down and planning and thinking of what kind of content you want to create is more efficient. It's better than buying all the equipment and the equipment comes and like you freeze up, right? But the best thing to do is to practice, and the best way to practice is to use what you're already familiar with. I'm familiar with my phone. I use my phone every day, and looking at it, right, the camera quality of all the phones that are coming out are really good, whether it's Android or iPhone, and any phone that came out in the last 2 years has a really good camera system, right? So you definitely want to use what you have first, and don't go and start buying all the equipment when you're not even consistent yet, right? When you haven't gotten yourself together, when you don't even know what you're going to be talking about. And number 2, I suffer it. I'm suffering right now as I'm making this video, which is don't overthink the process and to be yourself. And this topic is very interesting, right? Because as human beings, we're always going to overthink the process, especially when we have passion about something, right? And one thing for myself that I found out is I have a lot of information. I have like a boatload of stuff, and when I'm making content, I kind of want to deliver all of them at once, like just drop everything. You got to slow down. Don't overthink the process. You have to create as you go. And one of the things that I see a lot of people do, which I do as well sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, is we watch videos from the top dogs, right? So, we're watching videos of people with like 100 million subscribers, and we're like, that's the level I want to be on. Yes, that's the level we want to be on, but, you need to put a time to it, maybe in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, because if you look at all these guys, they've been creating content, they've been making YouTube videos for like the past 10, 15 years, right? What makes you think you're going to start today and you're going to get on that level? For you to even develop the kind of confidence that's needed to be on camera, to be able to talk like this. Like, I've been filming videos for over 15 years, and I really just started creating content, let's say about 2 years, and I really just got really serious about 3-4 months ago, and I'm still struggling till today, right? Even though that I've been in the camera, production environment my whole life, it is still difficult for me, right? And that's because I keep overthinking the process. And I was talking to one of my business partners the other day, and we concluded that your strength becomes your weakness. And let me give you an example on that, right? So I know a lot about cameras and equipment and all this stuff because that's what I've been doing my whole life. But when it comes to me creating content, for me, it becomes my weakness because I start overthinking the entire process. I'm like, oh man, audio gotta be this way, the lighting has to be this way. But at the end of the day, when it comes to creating content, yes, all these stuffs are important, but they're important down the road. They're important later on. You need to first find your audience, right? And also be yourself, relax. I know we consume a lot of information and we try to mimic what's successful. We try to mimic what other people are doing. But what's really going to work is when you're just yourself. Don't try to switch up your accent. Don't try to talk in a different way when you get on camera, right? Because at the end of the day, what's going to attract people is what's unique about you, right? So how can you find something that's unique about you if you're not being yourself, if you're trying to, pretend like somebody else, right? So the more unique you are, the more people fall in love with you. And I'm actually talking to myself as well right now, and I've been working on that. And the more I create videos, I realize who I am. And being yourself comes from, the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you pronounce certain words, all this stuff, right? That's just you at the end of the day, right? So you want to make sure that you're just yourself, because being creative is about being yourself. And at the same time too, the people who are going to love you will love you. The ones who will not, regardless, no matter how you try to present yourself. So just relax and be yourself. Let's get to the third one, which is you need a system, a routine, or a ritual. Like, funny enough, right? I found out that I like to smell candle when I'm making video, right? So like literally every time I'm creating content, I literally turn on the candle, and what it does for me is I like things that smell good, right? And that is my ritual. A ritual can be, you showering right before you come in, to make content, right? And which is what I do. A system is very important, right? Because you want to have things in place. You know that every time you want to create content, you have a systematic step of things that you do. That helps a lot rather than being all over the place, especially if you're creating videos like this where, you're going to be sitting down. You want to make sure that, okay, maybe your camera is always in this position. Also, a part of being a system is having a plan. I try to repeat the same thing over and over again, right? So for example, I try to create my content every Wednesday. So I know that on Wednesdays, my mind is already set to creating content, and Tuesdays I write the script of the content I want to create, right? That way it's fresh, it's still in my mind, and I get to sleep over it. I wake up Wednesday morning, I shower, I shave my head, literally, you see my head is shining. So these are the kind of things that I do because I found out that boosts my confidence. I feel fresh, I smell fresh, I got a candle going on. So what's very important is for you to have a routine, right? I try not to shoot the same day that I write the script. I like to sleep over it, wake up, revise it, add new things, remove other things, and then make the content. Number 4 is very important, right? So I need you to pay attention. Only create content you give a about. Yes, only create content that you care about. Only create content that you have passion for. If you don't understand the content you're creating for, the others can read it, right? Like, we can read the room. We can tell when somebody is just BSing around and don't really know what it's saying. I'm able to make this type of content today because I have full knowledge about content creation and all this good stuff, right? So, and I care about it, and I'm passionate about it, and I'm happy to create this type of content, right? So I can do this on and on and on and on, and I'm not gonna get tired because I'm actually passionate about this topic, right? I'm not creating a random topic. So it's very important for you to create content you give a F about. For example, you're not gonna see me creating content about maybe dancing. I'm terrible at dancing. I don't know how to dance. I'm not gonna create content around that or anything like that, but I'm always gonna create content around real estate, around tech, around filmmaking, around content creation. And now let's get to number 5, which is confidence and consistency-based talent in anything in life, and especially in content creation. You can be the most talented person, but if you're only making video once a month, once a year, that's not really gonna take you anywhere, right? This is a lifestyle. It's the kind of thing where you have to apply this, every day, right? Like, creating content is a lifestyle. You don't just wake up and do it when you feel like it, right? You kind of have to turn this to, I don't want to say job, but you need to look at it in a job perspective. Whether you feel like it or you don't feel like it, you have to go to work, right? So whether you feel like it or you don't feel like it, you have to create content. And at the end of the day, the person that sucks but keeps doing it will always outbeat the person that's talented but not doing it. It's important for you to be consistent. You're gonna be scared the very first time you're making content, but the second time, by the time you do the 10th time, it just becomes second nature. It just becomes natural, right? You just enjoy it. You're gonna beat out your competition just by being consistent. And number 6 is for you to define your why, right? What is the value you are providing? I kind of talked about this earlier on, but the kind of content that you're gonna be creating needs to have value. Don't just create random content. And I know it's easy for you to follow a trend. Yes, that's cool once in a while, but you have to create content that provides value to people. You're either entertaining people or you're educating people. You're providing information, you're giving out news. Because at the end of the day, why am I watching your video? Why do I need to watch your video? Because if it's not interesting to me, if it doesn't grab my attention, I'm going to skip over it. I'm going to move on to the next video. You're watching this video right now because you want to learn how to develop yourself as a content creator. You want to learn how to shoot like a pro. And also, it's important for you to define your why. You want to know why you're creating content, right? You're not just doing it to become famous or to go viral or whatnot. You actually want to do this to provide some type of value to people. So you need to know your why, know your purpose. And once you define that, it's really going to help you, because what you're doing essentially is you're solving problems, right? You're the solution to people's problems. People watch the videos so that their problems can be solved, right? Whether it's through laughter or through getting educated or whatnot, you're solving some kind of problem. So you have to look at it with that mentality. And with that mentality, it leads us to number 7, which is to fail forward. The journey is the destination. Listen, guys, there's going to be a lot of failures. There's going to be a lot of videos that flops. There's going to be a lot of videos that you spend countless amount of hours on that literally gets 10 views. And the 10 views, 5 of them are probably you. So at the end of the day, you're going to create this content and you're going to learn from it. Once in a while, we have people that their very first video go viral, but that's not realistic. It's better for you to build a foundation. The way I look at it, right, you cannot build a house without a solid foundation. Once you build a foundation, no matter what happens, you have a foundation, and then you can build story upon story upon story. And the higher you want the building to go, the deeper the foundation needs to go. So in the beginning, what you're really doing is building a foundation. You're going to learn along the way. You're going to fail. You're going to shift. You're going to re-strategize, which is totally normal. You're not the only one. Focus on the journey. The journey is more important than the destination. All right, that's all. But today's your lucky day, so I have just one more. I'm going to give a bonus tip. So the bonus tip is, who is your audience and how did they consume information? So you need to know who your audience are, right? So for example, if I'm creating videos for tech, I need to find people that are interested in tech and find a way to grab their attention, right? And also, how do they consume information? Do they consume information by visually? Of course, visually, because we're creating visual content, but at the same time, you need to test different type of videos. For example, create some videos outside, create some videos while in the car, create some videos around, different environments, right? And based on the performance of that video, that kind of gives you a clue, how does, my audience consume information. Creating videos like a pro is not just about the equipment you use or the technical aspects of filming. It's about focusing on personal development, building skills, and being consistent in your content creation journey. While having good equipment can enhance your videos, it's not necessary until you have established yourself and are generating income from your content. So remember, guys, your first time may be challenging, but with practice, it becomes easier. Follow the 7 tips discussed in this video. Utilize your resources, be yourself, create content that you genuinely care about, prioritize confidence and consistency over talent, define your value and purpose, and embrace failure as part of the learning process. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more videos like this. Let's go. Right now, as we're talking, my wife is cooking upstairs and I can smell the food and it smells so good. So yeah, I need to go eat.